Well, hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and today we are live on a Friday lunchtime, and we are going to be making some very easy stuffed burgers for those of you who might like those. We're also going to be showing you how you can just use the same mixture to make some protein bites for during the week. So, nice, easy, simple things to do, but pack a lot of punch, and that's the main thing. For all of you who might be new, welcome. Feel free to participate just by watching if that's what you want to do. If you do come into the chit chat, please be aware that if I talk to whatever it is that you've put up on the chat, it will stay up when the video goes on to replay. So just wanted to warn you about that. And if you're new, I will probably double check with you and make sure that's what you want. Hi there, Jody. I wanted to just let you know that this has been quite fun putting all this together for this week. So I'm glad that you guys actually wanted me to do this. I'm going to just let you know that if you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe and also to click on the bell. And the bell's going to ask you, do you want all the notifications? And the answer is yes, because if I do an extra broadcast, it will let you know. And also, please be aware that I love to hear what it is you'd like me to experiment with. I don't claim to be a mega cook in any way. I like to experiment with food. And so my sort of cooking is for people who may not be perfectionists at all. I very rarely measure anything, as some of you know. I just huck things in until it looks good to me, and that's how I go. So for those of you who really do like the perfect recipes, there are plenty of places to find them. Mine for the people who just are in a bit of a hurry and just need to put something together quickly. All right, so here we go. I wanted to let you know that, first of all, I'm wearing my Dear Mama Sal apron, very kindly made for me by Pat. And I just wanted to let you know that it's been a funny week. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's really been a sort of strange week for me this week. And I'm definitely going to be putting up a video about it, but just how have you guys been doing? Let me know. And if you're watching on the replay, please let me know in the comments below. All right, so let's do this. The first thing that I want to do is let you know that I need to get the fridge. And we need some meat, and we need we need an egg. There we go. And I didn't want to get those out earlier. Just before I start on this, I wanted to let you know, for those of you who've been watching all week, about that I actually found the seeds that I had lost. I have now contained them into a binder called Garden. And what I did is I put photo paper, you know, those pockets that you get. I put in photo things, and now I've got all my seeds together. I'm going to get a bigger binder because this is bulging at the seams already. But I thought I'd show you that as a quick hint. The other thing I wanted to show you is that I had this boiled egg here to remind me to get the egg out of the fridge. But when I boil my eggs, I write the day that I boiled it on the egg. This was Tuesday. That way I know how long they've been in the fridge. And quite honestly, it works really well for me. We get back in the fridge, huh? Okay. Here we go. So I've got here a mix of ground beef and pork. And Jody, perhaps you can do some American math for me. This is half a kilo in here. I'm not sure what that is in American. And that cost me $6.25 roughly. It's actually $6.24, but let's call it $6.25 in Canadian. So when we finish this, we'll see how much it cost us, if you like. So yeah. Jody's saying it was a weird week here too. Lionel asked if Mercury was in retrograde. Yeah, I said no. Things are weird. Yeah, it's funny. I'm already weird enough that I started to take my temperature to see if I was sick. But did you know that it's midsummer today? Or if you're south of the equator, it'll be midwinter. So where you're on your way to your next season. All right, let's do this. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm handling raw meat, okay, so thank you, Jody. Jody is saying that half a kilo in Canadian turns out to be about 1 pound. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check. Yes, sir, you can do this. My challenge is always getting these sort of gloves on because of my long nails. And don't be surprised if I burst through them with my nails, because that seems to happen a lot. Okay, here we go. Now, I just like to wear the gloves if I'm handling raw meat. How many of you do that? And then I don't end up with raw meat up my fingernails and all sorts of things. Yay, good. All right, so let's do this. We have got 500 grams or 1 pound of meat. And into there, I am okay, so Jody's saying she always wears gloves. It's a good idea. Okay, let's do this so that you guys have got a good sense of what I'm up to here. I'm going to put my phone on just so I can see the comments better while I'm got that funny angle with the, just hold on 1 second. It'll just help me see the comments properly. I'm hoping. Or not. Okay, don't worry about it. So, all right, so here we go. We've got the meat in. We're going to put in an egg. Okay. So very simple. And the seasonings are really up to you. Whatever you like to have in your burgers. Now, I like to start, by the way, I just wanted to say, if you haven't got these sort of plasticky, hi, Emily. If you haven't got these plasticky tops, great use rather than use plastic wrap, use these. It saves the environment. I like to add bacon, and I've got some green onion in there, so I'm going to put that in. And I also have got, I think I'm going to put a little bit of Dijon mustard. Give it a bit of kick. Like that. I'm going to put in just a few breadcrumbs. And by the way, these are breadcrumbs that I have my sourdough breadcrumbs from where I bake bread. I already got some chives in there. So what about some black pepper? I was going to put lemon pepper, but I think I'll just put black pepper in there. And, basically you can put in whatever you like. Let's see what we've got for comments here. Okay. Emily's saying, what time should we all come over? Yeah, here we go. Emily, for those of you who don't know, Emily was one of my very first viewers when I started doing YouTube. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for her. For those of you who have not done stuffed burgers before, I want to tell you that I need to give you a warning. And the warning is, if you've never had a stuffed burger before, you need to know that once you've had them, you probably won't want to go back to regular burgers. I quite honestly, if I do burgers today, it needs to be a stuffed burger. Now, we got two ways of doing it, and I thought I'd show you both ways. One is to have an actual press, and that's what I have got here. It's a 3-part press. It's a 3-part press. So you've got the sort of base bit at the bottom here. You've got the measuring thing. I like this because it sort of tells you what size burger you've got going. And then you've got the thing with which you press here. So I'm going to put the meat over here so you can see this better. And I'm going to get my board out. Right, so very, very simple to do. So the first thing is you're going to put some meat into your press area. And literally, you just put it in until you've got Now, for those of you who haven't got one of these, I'm going to show you a simple way to do it without one. So all you do is you sort of just put it in until you've got, this would be a quarter burger, a quarter pounder, I think. Oh, 1/3 I've got here, 1/3. Then with this thing, all that you do is you turn this upside down and you push it in like this. And when you do that, and if you can see that, it makes this indentation for you. All right? Hi, Ange. Long time no see. All right? So it makes that indentation. And then you get to fill it with whatever you want. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And for example, with this one, what I'm going to do is fill it with some caramelized onion. And by the way, if you're going, how do you caramelize onions, Sal? It is so easy, people. All you do, is literally put the onion without just a little bit of oil, just to coat the pan, but just put it in a fry pan, cover it, and keep it on the lowest heat for most of the day. And it will just slowly, every now and then just turn it over a bit. But literally that's all I do. Makes the greatest caramelized onions. So now then, what else are we going to have in here? I was thinking, always dangerous, of putting in some cheese in there as well. So we got a cheese and onion burger. How many of you going yum, 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 yum? Okay, so, and I'm just using shredded cheese because, well, because I can. Not shredded, the stringable cheese. And this is stringable marble cheese. So you can just put those in there. Now you've got to admit, this is hardly rocket science, people. If it were difficult, I wouldn't do it. You know that. Okay, so now we've got the cheese in there. And the last thing you do is you take a little bit more of the hamburger meat and you make another patty out of it. Like that. And you put it on top. Just like that. Now, if you notice, what I'm doing is I'm pushing down the sides because I want the join to be pretty compacted. And I'm doing that before I take it out of the press. Now, if you're making these, I recommend that you make a whole batch at the same time. I'm not going to be doing that today, but there we go. And there you have what I can guarantee will be an awesome burger. Please notice the size of it. So what I'm going to do is just let that cook while we chat. How easy was that, people? Pretty darn easy, right? So what I wanted to show you is that if you don't have one of these presses, and I want to tell you they are really a godsend if you're doing a lot of these. And that's a big burger. Yes, it is, Emily, but you know, the thing is that it's actually big because it's got stuff inside it. So if you want to make smaller ones, and this is what I do with mine, just so that you know, if I want to make a smaller one, I will just literally get some hamburger together. You can just press it like that. And then in your hand, just literally cup it like this. All right? Hi, Nasha. And then, oh, wait a minute. I can't do that because I want to get something undone and I need a hand for that. Now, about the big burgers, there's nothing to say you have to eat it all at the same time. What I've got in here is a little bit of cream cheese. You remember that in the previous time I dehydrated some grape tomatoes and some mushrooms? Well, I put those in there just to show you, you know, that's how you can use them. And then let's just mix that up. Doesn't look pretty, but it's about how it tastes, not how it looks at this point. So what I'm going to do here is just get just trying to think what would be easy to show you. Let's put it in a smaller type thing. There we are. Let's hope I can get it out again. All right, so now then, and this is a mix of cream cheese, tomato, and mushroom. Now, you don't actually have to mince it all up if you don't want to. It's going to taste really good, people. I can tell you that right now. Just a bit of the tomato skin I took out. There's another bit. Okay. That definitely looks very yummy to me. And then what I'm going to do is just get another thing of burger meat and put that on top. And again, what we're looking for is to seal those edges. Now, if any of you got any fancy ways to seal them, just let me know, but I just literally sort of twist them together like this. Now, I guess in a way, these are two different quarter pounders almost by the time I finish them. Oh, there we go. How does that look? Good? No, I've been making it, I've been, Nyasha, I've been making it as I talk. So then this one is, I'm going to freeze this one. Because I'm going to cook that, I'm going to eat half of that one today and the other half tomorrow. So we're going to put that one on the side. No, we're not, we're going to cover it up right now. And put it in the fridge until I put it in the freezer. Okay, hold on 1 second. So this one, what have we got? Cream cheese. Hang on, I'm just looking for. So this is a cream cheese burger. Okay. And this is going to go into the freezer. I'll just put it into my freezer here for the time being. Now then, we've still got some meat left in the bowl here. So this is what I do with mine, is I'm always trying to sort of make sure I have some good protein bites on hand for snacks. And so you can do one of two things. You can just roll up a ball like this and cook these just as they are. And by the way, I normally sort of have half a dozen of these in my fridge at any time. Or you can just put your thumb in like this, okay, and put in a couple of bits of cheese. What I'm going to do with this one. And then just cover it up. There you go. Now, I've got to admit, that's pretty simple, right? Even Sal can do it, so you know it's simple. Okay, here's another one. And I think I'll put some of that caramelized onion in this one. So first you're going to flatten it out a bit. Okay. Put in some caramelized onion. A little bit of cheese. And then the trick is to get it back together again. Okay. Now just literally roll it in your hand. Try and make sure it's all sealed. Okay. All right, and the last one, maybe a slightly bigger one. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll make that into 2 halves for my bites. And we'll just put in what's left, which is some more caramelized onion, some more cheese, so good. There we go. And all right, so now then, any questions from anybody? And do you see, first of all, how simple that was? And secondly, how many filling combinations can we think of? Give us some feedback. And by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to give us some of your favorite fillings. Or I really do like putting brie cheese in. I haven't got any in the fridge today, otherwise I would have done that. But brie cheese or camembert, if you like camembert, it really gives a great taste inside a burger. So you might want to try that. And I'm pretty sure that some of you have got some great ideas. Now, just so that you know, I will turn these gloves back outside out again after I've washed them. I will then throw them into my washing machine, but not into the dryer. First of all, I will get I will actually wash them like this, and then I will make sure they're properly washed inside the washing machine with a load of wash, but I don't put them in the dryer. And then just let them air dry, and I can use them again. Obviously, whenever you are working with meat, be very aware that you need to be extra careful. So let me say hello to Bernice. I didn't see you come in. And all right, so Jeannie's saying, hi Jeannie, good to see you as well. Different kinds of cheeses, horseradish cheese, caramelized onions. Yeah, the big one has caramelized onion and cheese in it. Italian herbs, I can't do that, of course, because I'm allergic to garlic. Whipped cream cheese, yes, we got cream cheese in there. And scallions, yes, scallions are just baby onions for those of you who don't know what scallions are. So absolutely, it is up to you, what you would like to put, in there. So as you can see, these are very easy to do and very easy to cook. Now I'm cooking them right in front of you so you can see. You also, can just cook them up in a frying pan or whatever. I would probably have the big burger cut in half as two separate meals, just so that you know, with a salad or something. And these, I literally, if I feel that I need to have a protein bite, you know, I'm inclined not to eat enough protein. Okay. Let me just see what Jeannie's saying. Italian herbs don't need garlic. Yeah, but what I meant was if you buy an Italian herb mix, it normally does. So that's why I said that. It can just be tarragon, thyme, and rosemary. Absolutely. And that's what I love about creating your own burgers. You know, I've added Dijon mustard into the base mix. Not everybody does, but I just love the kick that gives. By the way, if you're somebody that likes the kick, maybe a bit of Tabasco in there just to give it, you know, your signature. You know what I mean? I think what's really nice about this is that you get to mix up what you want. And it doesn't matter whether you have a giant burger like this or, you know, some medium-sized ones, whatever. You can make different size ones for different people. Honey mustard is great, yes. So you understand, I think that's what I love about doing burgers. And what I do, just so that you know, if I'm actually going to have people over for a barbecue, remember those days? If I'm having people over for a barbecue, I will actually say, I am going to be stuffing burgers. So let me know what you would like. And I literally will list down, you know, what their options are and just tell them, tick what you would like. And then I'll pre-make them and wrap them up, you know, with that person's name on it. And then when I cook it, I've got a little flag on it that goes, okay, this is, you know, Jeannie's. So it becomes a very personal bit of cooking. And I find that people don't need buns. So in a way, it is healthier. Okay? So when I say in a way, obviously if you're making giant ones like this, that's a lot of protein. But if you remember, it's 1/3 of a pound. So, and I'm going to be cutting that in half. Pretty good, right? So what did we say? It was $6 in Canadian to do these. And I wish I could pass you over the smell of these cooking, because you can probably imagine. Now I know that they're getting close to done because the cheese in here is beginning to leak out a bit through a hole. That's good. Obviously, it's got a long way still to go as far as I'm concerned. Now, what I like to do when I'm cooking these, if I'm cooking them like this, is just put the lid on them to make sure that they cook through. Like that. So we're just going to let them do that. All right, so Jean is saying you can also, instead of using a bun, put it in lettuce. Yes, absolutely. And for some of you, especially with the smaller ones, after you've cooked them, you can just crumple them up because the cheese and the onion will all be in there and have permeated all the meat. You can just crumble them up and put them inside a lettuce leaf and eat them. A great idea, Jeannie. Thank you. So anybody else put anything else strange into stuffed burgers? How many of you already do stuff your burgers? Sandy's saying, Sal, I got my crepe maker. Made eggs and omelets on it yesterday. How was it, Sandy? Are you going, why did I not have one of these before? And how was the cleanup? You know, it's just like, it's pretty easy, yeah. Ah, interesting. Bernice likes her burgers Filipino style. That's with gravy and mushrooms with rice. There you go. Right? Everybody likes their burgers in different ways. And I think that's the fun of cooking, is that you get to put your own signature on it. I do know that if ever I have served people stuffed burgers, and if I invite them back for a barbecue, they'll be going, "Oh, we're having those stuffed burgers again." And forget the bun. In other words, they'd rather have the stuffed burger without a bun than a regular burger with a bun. And, I find that people just enjoy it as a meal. It's almost a meal unto itself, if you think about it. You don't need a whole lot more. All right, so we're going to let those cook up a bit, and I'm going to carry on with the broadcast. All right, so Sandy's saying, I make 3 eggs at a time for the kiddos, okay, on this, and my frying pan is tight. I was able to do sunny side up for them and then made omelets for hubby and myself. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, if you want to do easy over, Sandy, if you want to do easy over eggs, the Dear Mama Sal way, just, cook them until you start to see the bubbles inside the egg yolk, and then put the lid on top, and it'll cook the other, the top side of it. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're finding this interesting. By the way, Sandy, I have tried to make. Wait a minute. I lied. Hold on 1 second. I did make pita bread on it as well. And I'm going to be doing a video on that if anybody would like to see that. So very, very simple. And yeah, you can tell I'm dying to eat one of these. You can tell I've got a bit of a hole in this one because the cheese is leaking out, but that's okay. But it also tells me that the heat has got to the center. And that's one of the reasons I like to have cheese in them, because you can always tell. If the cheese is good and melted, then enough heat got in there. Bye-bye, Nyasha. So, pretty simple. Anything else you'd like to see me cook like this? Let me know, because one of the things that I find is that I love to cook what it is you like to see. And I actually didn't, I got to be quite honest, I honestly didn't think I was going to use this crepe maker as much as I do. And just so that you know, I probably use mine every day. I don't bring out a fry pan, I use this. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Now, what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to start doing, during a broadcast, I'm going to start showing you the halogen oven, because it's getting, we're getting closer to winter for one, but also what I want to show you is, here is a complete chicken, and I can cook it from frozen in the time that we do a broadcast. Right, so hang on a second. Jeannie's saying that Misty's apparently a little bit better with the new meds. That's good. That's her dog, by the way. Jody's saying that lid is the handiest thing. Jody, I don't know about you, but I love to be able to see how it's cooking. All right. And that's why I like a glass lid. And I think that's really important. Now, obviously, you would just do this on your barbecue if that's, what you were doing. But if you don't have a barbecue, as I said, you can just do this in a regular frying pan or just like this. Now, I haven't got it on a high heat. I've got it sort of a middle heat, that's all. All right. All right, so Jeannie's saying refrigerated and given with gloves. You mean the wrapped burger? That's a way to do it. Yeah, and then have everybody put their own burger on the barbecue. Would also be something. But, quite honestly, in this day and age, if you're having a barbecue, I think I would. Okay, I'm not understanding that, Jeannie. I'm certain it makes sense to you. Oh. The medication for the dog. All right. That's why we try to stay on topic. I can't cook and think medication for dogs at the same time, apparently. All right. So the other thing I wanted to say is the reason I want to start cooking with the halogen is I want to, because I think you guys like to see it actually cook, but I thought I'd like to show you it cook from absolutely frozen to table ready in the time that we do a broadcast. And I quite honestly didn't believe that was possible. And the reason I want to start doing it with the halogen is I want to show you why doing a roast is a much more economical way to go than buying individual cuts, like, for example, a couple of chicken breasts or whatever. So with Jodie's help, what we're going to do is, cook a complete chicken from frozen. And then one of the things that we want to show you is this is how many individual serving sizes, amounts of meat I can get out of a total chicken. And, try and work out what that would have cost, if I bought them individually wrapped. Now, the other thing is this, by cooking a complete chicken, we are going to save on an awful lot of plastic wrap, an awful lot of garbage. You guys getting the idea of what I'm talking about? It actually is a far more economical and environmentally friendly way to cook. I have been doing this for some time. I cook large amounts and then literally freeze it in individual servings, pre-cooked. So if I, for example, during the week, I'll have a pasta night where I have a little bit of pasta. I'll have a rice night. I'll have a udon noodle night. I have a half a potato night, right? And then I add one serving of meat to it. All right. So I've got them. It's already cooked. I just need to thaw it and I'm ready to go. So it's sort of no brainer. The only thing I need to cook are my fresh vegetables. And why wouldn't we want to cook fresh vegetables? And whatever the carb is for the night. And by the way, what I do, and I think some of you know that, I will cut up enough vegetables to fit into one of these mason jars, the big one. And I will put the lid on, but not the ring, just like this. And I will cook my pasta in here. I'll put 1/4 cup of pasta or 1/4 cup of rice in here with and fill it up with water. So one mason jar will have the carbs in it, the other one will have the vegetables, and the third one, there isn't a third. Oh, if I want a sauce or something. All right, you want to see me make my bread? I can do that, no problem at all, Sandy. I will show you that I use the same what I call my everlasting bread mix. I use that for making pita breads, for making regular bread, everything. So Jeannie's saying, I always use chicken in various ways, finishing up by making chicken salad. Yes, all chicken, but the bones are used. Yeah, and as Jody said, if you like chicken noodle soup, right? You can make great chicken noodle soup out of the bones. Just don't swallow them, people. I think you're pretty good on that one, right? So we will do that. I will do a bread one. And Sandy, maybe I've actually thought I was going to be doing the bread one today for you. You remember I said that I would try the honey oat, oat and flaxseed pita breads. I was going to show you those today, and then I remembered Jody had been asking me for the burger one again. So I will do that. So Jeannie's saying the bones can be used to make bone broth, very nourishing, especially in these, Jody's saying that, sorry, especially in these times with less food options, absolutely. So we can do this, and that's what I want to start showing you. This is a pretty indulgent way to cook. But every now and then, you need to have a pretty indulgent meal. So I think these are probably done. I'm going to just put them aside and let this cool. Looks so good. I think that's probably done, people. And then, again, I'm just going to turn it off, oops, and let it cool, and then I will wipe that down. Now I just got to take a picture of that before I forget, because that really looks good, doesn't it? Yum. All right, so what we're going to do, I just thought I'd talk to you guys about this. I have made a decision that we are going to change the Friday evening broadcast, not this week, but starting next week. And what we're going to do is for Friday evenings, we're going to do hints, hacks, and happy things. You know what I mean? We're going to do ways to save money, better ways to do things, all those sort of things. We're going to do those on a Friday night. So, Rinsky, I don't know if you saw, but at the front end of this, we just made stuffed burgers and stuffed protein bites. I'm just letting them cool down, and then I will eat one or two. All right, now the other thing that I did promise you, but I'll get to that in a second. What did I do with it? Is I promised you I would show you how I put my makeup on to get a glow. And That I'm going to do in just a few minutes. All right, so what does... Rinsky saying that we ordered the freezer in March, finally got it delivered last Tuesday and filled it. Then Tuesday we got a hurricane and lost electricity for 3 days. Oh no, that is so sad. So did you do the trick that I showed you, Rinsky? Hang on a second. Let me show you guys. So what I have and two different levels in my freezer is, first of all, I froze this amount of water. All right. And then on top, once it was frozen, obviously, I put a coin. If I get two things I want to tell you about about if a freezer, you have a power failure. Normally, it will take 48 hours before it even begins to defrost. If you've got one of these at the top level and another one midway, you are going to know how much, first of all, and just make sure you know this, if you have a power failure, do not open that freezer until you've given everything a chance to freeze again. Because the moment you open the freezer, you are causing even more air to escape. So the trick is to wait for the electricity come back on and then see how far down the coin is. Because if the coin, after thawing a little bit and then refreezing, is only to here, you understand there's been very little thawing, even though maybe it's been off for 3 days. If the coin is flat on the bottom, you got to throw everything out. Right? Does that make sense? But if if at the top level the coin is only a little bit down or even halfway down, I know that the top level may be a suspect. So I can throw that. Right. So Jeannie, to lose electricity for 5 hours isn't a problem for a freezer. The research that I've done is most good freezers today, you can lose power for 48 hours and still be okay if you don't open the freezer until it's had time to refreeze everything. When I say refreeze it, it won't have thawed enough to be dangerous. Therefore, it can, you just wait for the freezing level to build up again. Right. Bernice is saying, so her hubby and I scheduled an appointment for later because we got into contact with one of the staff last weekend. We weren't sure if she's been infected or not. Okay, that's not good. Okay, let me see here. Mama Sal, we got an email yesterday from our leasing office said that 5 of their staff got COVID, that anyone who was in contact with them needed to be tested or self-quarantine. Do you know something? Hi, Samantha. Samantha, just so you know, we just cooked these live, just so that you know, from scratch. Yeah, I must admit that I'm trying to be pretty careful. I just need to put this back in my freezer. I'm trying to be pretty careful because of that get together that we had in the community recently. It's just over a week ago now, but until 2 weeks are up, I'm trying to be really careful. All right, so Sandy's saying, I do this hack in both our stand-up and fridge freezer now. Why we lost a ton of food was when our refrigerator died. The freezer section was somewhat thawed. We didn't know when it happened. Yes, you understand, when you've got that going on, you know how safe you are. How did they come out? I don't know yet. I'm just going to test one, but they're too hot to test right now. So I'm just waiting for them to cool down a bit, and then I'll do that. By the way, we made another one. We did it from 1 pound or 500 grams of mixed. There is another. There is another giant one that is in my freezer at the moment. So I'm really looking. So hungry. Okay, I think that's probably. Okay, so. Now, if I were a nice person, which I'm not. That was a bacony bit. So I'm going to cut this one just so you can see. Yeah. Here we go. And then this is one of the bites. I don't know which one. And basically, you almost don't see the filling, the stuff that we put inside. Now, you will remember we put quite a lot of cheese and everything else in there, but you can hardly see it because it actually starts to permeate. So I'm just going to have a little bit of this. Now, if that is healthy, that is a protein bite. Really good. Anybody getting hungry now? So, just want to cover those. There we go. Okay. I don't like it, no. Of course, now my fear is, have I got burger in my teeth? So I will take a quick. You know something, Sandy? It was really interesting. Lauren and Jody and I were talking this week about how would we cope if things got really bad. And what I was worried about was how do diabetics cope? Because the food that we normally eat, I'm pre-diabetic, but the food that diabetics eat are inclined to be fresh and protein-based to a large extent. And so I really did ask whether you would come on board with us, Sandy, and come up with some meals that diabetics could have in the event of things getting really bad. Okay, Bernice, no problem. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you, that is new to me. I just need to go out to the garden quickly, or onto the deck and come back. Just hold on a second. This was really interesting. And I particularly wanted to, thank you, Samantha. I particularly wanted to let you know this for the winter. I'm going to start doing more of this. I found out that a gallon, 4-gallon jar, 4 gallons or 1 gallon, 1 gallon, right? 4 liters, are great for planting stuff. What I've got in here is baby chard. Now, I've never really eaten chard. Let me show you what it looks like. It grows up a bit. I just harvested these leaves this week, and I just keep them in cold water, in a cold fridge. And then when I cook, I just throw a couple of pieces of chard in. What I'm trying to do, Sandy, is find ways for us to get the healthy greens that we need in the winter, or if getting greens becomes more expensive than we like. I try to see what they would taste like, because they grow like weeds, just so that you know. Chard is very easy to grow. So this is baby chard. You could eat this in a salad, especially if you mixed it in. Actually, it's not bad at all. Not as bad as I thought it would be, quite honestly. So, very easy, grows like a weed, and you could grow it just about anywhere. I'm starting to get ready to see if I can be self-sufficient. Not totally, but a lot more self-sufficient this winter. All right, so here we go. For those of you who wanted to know, wait, let me just see what other notes I have here, because I'm inclined to talk through my notes here. Under be prepared, not scared. I'm just going to let you know this. This might seem a bit extreme, but if you've got an earthquake type kit, that's really what we are filling up. Earthquake and a disaster kit. Wait a minute, I've just seen something else I need to show you. I know that you guys like to see how things are developing. Did any of you see the video where I showed you how Tommy the tomato is doing? Doing really well. I'm surprised. So these are peppers grown from the seed of a store-bought pepper. So I think they look pretty good. So I'm really, really happy. These are orange. And this one is, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm glad. Did you like the short videos, by the way? Yes, Sandy is saying about the fact, for those of us who are diabetic and pre-diabetic, we need to start working out, I think, be prepared, not scared, start working out what we need to be able to do. Make your own pita bread or flatbreads or whatever, very important. And can you do it from oats and flaxseed, for example? And by the way, do you have enough oat and flaxseed in the house to last you for some time? Because I think the specialty foods are going to be very difficult to get. Samantha's saying, I just harvested the biggest zucchini. It was 1 foot 3 inches. I have so much zucchini. I have just planted zucchini somewhere. Can't remember what I did with it. But I have just got some zucchini seeds in. How long did it take from planting the seed to harvest? That's what I'd be interested in. Okay, so for I'm talking about your disaster type kit. What I ordered up this week is something that I've always meant to have somewhere, but I've just put it on this month's order, is I got a flint starter and some spare flints. Do you know what I mean? It's a fire starter that is flint based. So that, again, I hope I never need to use it. But I didn't spend a whole lot of money. And if any of you want me to start putting together what I call a disaster preparedness playlist, I will gladly do that. All right, so what I want to start looking at, Sandy, and everybody else, and I'd love your input, do write to me. Do you have enough dried mushrooms, dehydrated mushrooms to last you if you couldn't get mushrooms anymore, or if the price of mushrooms escalated beyond your capability? Yeah, as you know, I have now taught myself how to dehydrate tomatoes, mushrooms, and onions. So that's, I now know that I can do that. I actually think that dehydration is the way to go over canning, just because it takes up so much less space when it's dehydrated. But what I wanted to make sure was that if I needed to, I could always get some green vegetables fresh. And the fact that they actually weren't bad to eat raw is a really good idea for me. Because I want to tell you, lettuce is a bear to grow, people. I cannot believe how difficult lettuce is to grow. I lie. I have one. I have one that I grew. It's looking pretty pathetic, but I did grow it from seed. And it's taken all the time, and that's as far as it got. All right, so one of your favorite vegetables is mushrooms, right? So that's, again, think about what if you couldn't go to the store and buy mushrooms, Jeannie? That's why I am saying to myself, what is it that I really don't want to live without? All right. All right, so Jody's saying, I never even had one success with my lettuce years ago. I want to tell you, Jody, I am going to be a lettuce queen. I'm going to learn how to do it. I don't care how long it takes. I'm on a mission now. It's me versus the lettuce, and it's going to work. But I got one. And you understand, a couple of these leaves and a couple of these leaves, I got myself a salad. The fact that this took 3 months or something to grow is irrelevant. I will succeed eventually. So I'm starting to look at what if the price of whatever gets too big. Now, the good news is, and this is what I want to do more of, if you guys would like me to, is, what can you grow from the seeds of your store-bought? I've had cantaloupe seeds, zucchini. By the way, Sandy, who was that? Rinsky, I think, with the... Hang on, who said that about the... Hang on a second. Who said that about the zucchini? Samantha. Keep the seeds, dry them. All right. I have already, this is going to make you laugh. They're not doing anything yet, but these are Roma seeds from a Roma tomato. We'll call it Rodney when it does its things. That's a store-bought one. And somewhere here, there it is. I know I bought these out to show you. This is an apricot tree, bush, whatever. What I did is I ate the apricot, I let it dry, and then I took the pliers and cracked the shell very carefully and got to the kernel inside. And this is now, we're going to call him or her April, right? The apricot. I want to make sure that, I'm on my bank, I've got that raised bank at the back. I'm going to put some fruit trees there. Now, that will encourage the rodents, I guess, in some way. But on the other hand, maybe I'll get some fruit to myself. And I think that would be a good idea. So what else have I got to show you? Oh, this is a zucchini. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but the end of a zucchini. And again, I'm waiting to see if this carrot grows any leaves. So, and this is, oh, what did I just crack that one open from? Oh, this is a nectarine seed, where I cracked the shell, and this is a nectarine. Hang on. Show you. Not everybody knows what a nectarine is. So. If it ever grows up to be big and strong, it will look like this. And it tastes so good. Oh, like a plum, but better. Samantha's saying, she's getting addicted to making plants out of pre-existing plants. You bet. And you know something? I think it's a skill that we all need to learn. How much money would you save? Right, maybe that's something we need to look at. When you look at your grocery bill, how much of your grocery bill is fresh fruit? How much of your grocery bill is fresh vegetable? All right, onwards. Here we go. But the peppers are looking good, right? I'm very happy with those. And I got way too many peppers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start growing them, and then I will give them to people. I reckon that by Christmas time, they will be flowering. Oh, by the way, this is, I think you all know how I do this, right? This is just, hang on a second. An almond milk container, cut in half. Come on, Sal, you can get this out shortly. Easier to do when you don't have arthritis, people. Anyway, you probably get the idea. Literally just cut it roughly in half and take the lid and throw it away. Oops. And then that's how I did it. And these, as you know, are self-watering little pots. Okay, let me try and work this out. So I've got the pepper inside one of these dollar store type things, and that's in something with water in it, so that, and that itself is got holes in it because you want it to be able to drain. So it's like a self-watering system, and it's working very well for those. So I don't have to water them every day. And what I'm now looking at, and I thought I would let you know, is I have just planted some more seeds. And I thought I'd show you that I'm actually using ice cube trays just so that you can see. Egg cartons are good as well. These were beans, and they already came up, and they're transplanted already, and I only planted them a couple of days ago. These are carrots. I'm not having success with growing carrots at the moment, so I'm on a mission. These are lettuce. We'll see. I'm going to do another way of doing lettuce. If anybody is good at growing lettuces, let me know. This is red pepper. We know how easy that is. And then these are more tomatoes, and they're coming up beautifully, as you can see. I want to know how often I need to plant the seeds. You know, what is the rotation? I cannot believe how long it's taken Tommy the tomato to get this big. And he hasn't even got flowers on him yet, never mind tomatoes. So I think it's important to know, and I'm pretty certain you will want to know as well. And especially if we're growing, I definitely am not going to be having houseplants in my house this year. I'm going to be having vegetables as houseplants and to see what happens. I know, what can I say? But you may all thank me for it. So, okay, so the fire flint I got to add to the kit this year. And also, I got a fire starter, one of these, and some butane. So this is the short-term solution. And then I thought the manual one was a good idea just to have in the preparedness kit in case people run out of butane or whatever. So birthdays. The only birthday I know coming up this week is Bubba's. That would be Lolo's husband. I think his birthday is on the 10th. So if anybody else has got a birthday this week, let us know so we can add it to our list, please. Saving tip of the week that I wanted to give you. How many of you have dishwashers? Now, I did show you how to make your own dishwasher tablets, and quite honestly, you don't even need to make the tablets. You know, just get yourself some borax and water down some dishwashing liquid. Water it down pretty well, and I just literally mix those two up. I throw in a bit of borax and I squeeze the dishwashing liquid into the container, and that works beautifully for me for the everyday stuff. And then, you know, if I've got what I call a heavy load, you know, lots of grease and stuff like that, I'll use a commercial one. But I want to make sure I can make my dishwasher work if you can't get dishwasher tabs anymore. So I'm pretty good on that now. I'm well educated in that. So here, for those of you who might have dishwashers, save some money. It's a little bit of extra work, but save some money. And that is, don't put it on heat. In other words, let your dishwasher run and open the door and let it air dry. Do you understand that over the course of a year, how much money you would probably save? So what I do is I used to run my dishwasher overnight, and I don't do that anymore. What I do is I run my dishwasher about 10 o'clock at night. And then when that's finished running, I will then put a couple of tea towels out on my surface here that you all know very well, this one. And I will just put everything out there. And what I do, funnily enough, let me show you, is I will have a bin like this, and I throw all the plastic into the bin. And then everything else I just put on the counter. And by the time I get up in the morning, everything's nice and dry. I just put it away. But no electricity was used in the drying of these products, people. So I'm really interested in that. How many of you have got these mini air conditioners that just literally condition the air that's blowing on you? You have probably learned a great lesson in that you do not need to heat the whole house to whatever temperature it is that you like. You need to heat the air around you to that. And think about that for saving a lot of money in the winter. You know, if you've got a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, how many rooms are you heating that really you spend? Think about how much time you spend in which room, all right? And think about, how do I locally heat this section, knowing that some of the heat will permeate the rest of the house, and of course keep the rest of the house at a lower temperature, but the higher heat, just keep it. Now, in the old days, they wore an extra sweater or a house coat. You know, there's a reason why we had house coats. All right. So Jody's saying we seal off 2 rooms in the winter. Yes. So think about that. So what I do is I keep the temperature down in the rest of the house to sort of mid 60s, about 65, 68, somewhere in there. Can't remember exactly. But that's the whole house. But my living room, I sit in front of the fireplace and I use the fireplace because I spend a lot of time sitting, watching television or editing exactly there. Now, I find I don't need a lot of heat in the kitchen area, which you know is open, because the kitchen itself, you know, I'm moving a lot and stuff like that. And it's, you know, if I'm cooking, then there's heat in the kitchen. So it's amazing how much money I've saved. Okay, so hold on 1 second, people, if you will. I can probably do this without earphones anyway, because we're going to do the makeup thing any minute now. Let me just charge these up again. Yes, Jody's saying that they seal up a couple of rooms and then we wear extra layers. We have an electric fireplace, heats the living room beautifully. Yes. And think about one of those small ceramic heaters. They work really well. I'm going to have a small ceramic heater in my bathroom because my bathroom, can you hear okay, by the way? Wait. Sorry, let me just change. There we go. My bathroom gets really cold. I found that out when I moved here. So but it doesn't have, it has the strangest electrical system in the bathroom. The lights have to be on for the electricity to be in the in the bathroom. So what I'm going to need to do is to look at that and work out a plan B, how to get an extension cord into my bathroom so I can put a small ceramic heater in there and just keep it set at at the floor level. Keep the floor level set at a comfortable heat for me. My scare of the week. Did any of you have a scare of the week? Just, if you have, just, let's type it in. I got scared this week. I don't know what happened to me. It's been a really strange week. But as I think I said earlier, I suddenly got lonely this week. And that was the first time since the week that I moved in here. And I will talk about that a bit more. But I wondered if anybody else got a scare of any sort this week. It did scare me. And I know what triggered it. And again, I've got a piece of video on that, so I will put that up when I edit it. For those of you who joined us in Do It Wednesdays, Get It Done Wednesdays, I want to find out, how did you do? I know Jody did it, DID. I know that I did the thing. I said I was going to edit 2 videos. You won't believe this. Those 2-minute videos took me 5 hours to edit. Yeah, you did sewing, Jody, and also the bathroom. I think I can remember what you did. So did anybody else get it done on Do It Day? And I would like to continue that because it helped me. I'm very selfish, but somebody else did well as well. I think Lauren did what she was meant to do, and somebody else also did it. Hang on a second. I forgot to make a note. Anyway, I will find out between the broadcasts, and we'll give them credit on the next one. So I want to make a commitment for this week that on Do It Day, which is Wednesday, I will be tidying up the boxes on my deck. You know, I've got a lot of empty boxes there ready for Doug when he moves. He's bought a house. So I've been saving my boxes for him. And I've got them on my deck, and I need to move them off my deck. My deck looks like a hurricane there. So I'm going to move them. I'm going to wrap them in a lot of plastic and bind them up so that he can, move them, and they can stay outside under the eaves until he needs them. Jeannie's saying, I got scared last Sunday. A policeman stopped my car. He told me my right brake light was out and let me go. On Monday, I went to get it fixed. And the fellow found there was nothing wrong except it was loose. So there was something wrong. It was loose. So isn't that kind of the policeman to let you know that? You would not have known had he not stopped you. All right. So Jody's saying she's not surprised that the edits take up so much time. She said you put so much care into how you create your videos. They're artistic. Well, I don't know if you guys enjoy those sort of ones that I do that, as I said, you'd think, gosh, how long does it take to put 2 minutes of video together? The answer, 5 hours to do 2 of them. But yes, Jody, you're right. I do find once I get in the zone, I have to be in the zone. And I found it, the Cubies one, I had great fun setting up that story with all the joy and anguish and all the other bits, and the beers. So, to me, I love to tell a story, and I do find it creative to do that, I must admit. So thank you for appreciating that. But yeah, it's amazing how much cutting and pasting and now I've got to go and find the right visual, and it does take a long time. But I must admit, if I can focus, I love it. But I have to be totally focused. I can't be distracted. And so that is it. So I'm going to lose this little seed any minute now if I'm not careful. What one was this? A nectarine. Okay, let's put it in a baggie so I don't lose it. I'm so scared I could use it. Oh, Jody's saying, Samantha's saying the music on that video was my favorite part. Yeah, it's, I think, Samantha, that those things, it's about matching the music to the mood of the video. Got to write on here, people, otherwise I will forget. All right, so there we go. Now, what I wanted to do as well. Oh, Sandy's saying the cubies had me on the edge of my seat. Even though I knew the outcome, I was really worried about them fitting in that door. I want to tell you, can you imagine when the truck arrived and the whole thing was in pieces? When I was expecting it to be upright. You know, I thought it fell off the truck. You know, that was my thought. So if you like those sort of videos, I'm trying to make them more entertaining for you, that you can watch them quickly but still get an idea of you know, what's going on. For example, the updates. And I thought you would be pleased to see Tommy growing nicely. I thought you'd be pleased to see that the rose that my sister gave me actually bloomed. Actually, 2 blooms, and now the next 2 are about to bloom. Understand that that rose is going to end up about 5 foot high as a bush, and it's going to have those blooms all over it. And I think it's going to be wonderful. So, any achievements this week? Jody's saying about the cubies thing, Sandy, my blood pressure was rising. Yes, and I knew the outcome too. What I did is, just so that you know, I sent the link to that video to the guy who let me have it for free, and also to Patty, who made me aware that it was available for free. And I don't have the email of the 2 kind gentlemen who helped me, my neighbors, but I will find it, and then I will send them the link so they can see it. In terms of procrastination, I did one good thing on the procrastination this week. What was it? Can't remember. But, can't remember. I should have made a note and I didn't. I'm still playing with the investment story, but I'm getting closer. I've decided I'm going to take some of my money and I'm going to put it into gold or silver coins. Probably some of each. Because we just don't know what's going to happen. And I think that the chances are gold and silver will increase in value better than the 0 that I'm getting offered at the bank these days. So I'm going to take X% and put it there. Right now, here's my question of the week. Oh, Jody's saying her achievement of the week, whether doing the sewing again and cleaning. Lionel's prepping in the spare room for the freezer. Yes. And you know, did you notice though that when you know it's Wednesday, it's the day? You know, I can procrastinate all week, but this is Wednesday. It needs to be done on Wednesdays. So I'm not saying you can't do it earlier. What I'm saying is let's make Wednesday the day that we do it day. And I'm going to, you know, start making a big deal of this because I think it'll help everybody, because we've all got stuff that we need to do. Oh, by the way, I really recommend getting a chalk pen. You know, I've got a glass here, right? I'm just going to write, oh gosh, what was that? Oh yeah, corner cupboard. I now have chalk pens in each room. And I'm going to talk to you about that in another broadcast, but because really, I'm at an age where if I don't write it down immediately, I'm going to forget it. All right, so Sandy's saying, I was thinking about it all week, but we'll try again this week and report back. Don't try, Sandy. We're not interested in whether you tried. Do it. All right? And you know, what I'm saying here is just do it. Don't try. What is the task you're trying to achieve? I've got this question I want to ask you all. It's really important to me. But first, let's do this. The thing that I found, Sandy, is if I procrastinate, it's too big. The reason I procrastinated so much on the investment is I am scared to make the wrong decision. Does that make sense to everybody? So instead of investing the money and getting some return on it, I am scared to do anything with it. I totally get that. So I'm pushing myself to do it. All right, so Sandy said, I felt it wasn't a total fail. There is no fail. This isn't about failing. This is about getting it. Because it made me get off my tush and make phone calls that I need to make first. That is a step in the right direction. That means you did it. You see, what I found out, Sandy, is most of us procrastinate because we're trying to do something that is 6 steps away. First, we've got to do this, this, and this. All right? And that is, you have done it. Okay? So understand that you have done the next step. That's all that I'm asking. That is the trick. What is the next step to get you there? So, for example, Sandy, I know that I've procrastinated about the investing of the money, but I think with some interesting reason on that. But now I've got to the stage where, yes, I do believe, I'm feeling comfortable that putting some, not all of it, I need to diversify what little money I have, but some of my money needs to go into gold and silver. All right, because 2 things. Number one, in a pandemic, if we went into a major depression, it's a really good idea to have coins. Yes, and Samantha's saying that makes perfect sense, especially when there's so much uncertainty and lack of consistency right now. Yep. So that's why I got scared. I don't know where to put it. I don't want to put it in the stock market. I'm scared of the stock market going. Do I put it into, mutual funds, whatever, So I'm going, think, what is unlikely to move too much or hold its value? You understand, if we keep printing money, the value of our money drops. So if the US starts printing a whole lot of money to pay for all this stimulus stuff, the value of the people who've got money in savings will go down like this. So luckily, Canada seems to be handling it pretty well so far. So that's good. All right, let me get to this question. And it's a question I want you to ask yourself next time. When you say the words, I am so frustrated, have you ever said those words? I want you to give a bit of a think on this one. What are you really saying when you say, I am so frustrated? Who is frustrating you? I got to eat this now. I've had a pretty healthy diet so far, right? Protein and now fruit. Think about that. If you say, I am frustrated, be very honest. Who creates your frustration? The reason I want you to think about that is because if you can get this right, you are likely not to be frustrated for very long, ever again. It's the same thing. If you say, I am angry, who made you angry? Right? Because the truth is, and Jody, of course, knows this already. Jody's saying, I frustrate myself. Yes, but we never really think about that, right? We blame somebody else for frustrating us. We make it external, or we blame somebody else for making us angry. Or we blame somebody else for what other emotions? You see, that's when you really get to understand these things, you realize that these are self-inflicted wounds. All right? So if I feel angry, it means I'm not dealing with something, or I want somebody to change and be more like me. True? If I think about this, if I am frustrated, did anybody get frustrated this week? Let's think about that. I got frustrated this week because I wasn't getting enough done. That frustrated me. So I was angry at myself. And what I realized was I'm not focusing enough to get things done. Samantha is saying, yep, daily. It usually means I have a problem that I need to address. Isn't it funny how that external force is always easier to blame? Well done, Samantha. If you can see that and own it, you are well on your way to mental health. I mean, serious mental health and emotional intelligence, right? Jeannie's saying, my challenge now is to go forward with patience. While my husband feels frustrated because he misses our home. I cannot change his attitude, so I concentrate on my actions. You bet. That's good learning, Jeannie. I'm proud of you. All right. And we also know that he's got hidden stuff within that, right? Because of the fire itself. All right. So he's going to spend a long time processing this through. And of course he misses the home. So do you. All right. So, part of it is, yes, I do too, but I'm getting on with my life as we have it today. I'm not dwelling in the past. I am moving towards a better future. Right. I'm proud of you, Jeannie. That's good stuff, right? That's good work, right? And Jody's saying, yes, I did. I ate food too high in carbs and felt like garbage afterwards. Well, boy, do I relate to this problem. My blood sugar is spiking in the mornings. I literally thought I ate pretty well last night, took my blood sugar reading. I got to do it in Canadian. And it was 6.5 when I went to bed last night. And it was up to 7.8 when I got up this morning, which is high. It should not be there. So I just don't understand. Am I sleep eating or something? What is happening in my body? And I'm wondering, I hate to mention this, I'm wondering if I'm not doing enough exercise that is processing this stuff enough. In other words, I need to find out what does it need to be at night before I go to bed. So if it's going to go from 6.5 to 7.7, I know I've got to allow at least a 1 to 2 figure increase overnight, which means when I go to bed at night, I need to work at getting it in the 5s, which means I think I got to drink a lot more water and get more exercise. Anybody got any ideas on that one? I'd be very interested. Because obviously what I'm doing is not doing. Hi, Nada. Big hugs to you, honey. Nada saying, yeah, she got frustrated at my body pain. Yeah, that's a, yeah. You got frustrated because of the pain? Or did you get frustrated because you couldn't get rid of the pain? I just want to make sure I understand it, Nada, because they're two different issues. I know that Jody would totally relate to that. And for example, I know that I was frustrated with my pain in the mornings with my legs. And because for some reason, I did a number on my Achilles tendons. And I think now that I look back on it, Jody, I thought that maybe I know where I did it. I think they were partially hurting before, But if you remember, I started doing those squats on the total gym. I'm wondering whether that didn't then rip them a bit more. So what I'm doing now is, I'm pleased to say they're beginning to get better, but I am now going to make sure that if I do squats that I've got them supported. You know, I'm going to wrap my feet if I do squats on the total gym. So Sandy's saying, this is something I deal with, copy and pasting. I'm not sure if it's the same for pre or type 2. The dawn phenomenon, also called the dawn effect, is a term used to describe an abnormal early morning increase of blood sugar, usually between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. in people with diabetes. Yep. Well, I'm pre-diabetic, and I also think that's what I struggle with. So I think I might have a little chat to my doctor or the local diabetic people and talk to them about how concerned should I be? Because what I've noticed, Sandy, is that if I wait 2 hours, if I wait 2 hours, then, you know, it normally is back in the 6s. Right. Jody's saying, I agree, Sal. That started with all the moving of the boxes that you did. Yep. And you know, without a doubt, I did the damage to my feet when I moved. I totally get that. And I was exercising too. That's something I'm going back to. So I'm going to stop being frustrated with the pain that I've got, or the increase in the blood sugar. Getting frustrated isn't going to fix it, right? See, if you can see that my getting frustrated at my numbers is not going to change my numbers one iota. You know, the only thing that's going to change it is if I change what I'm putting in my mouth or what I'm doing with my body. So if I increase my water intake, it probably will do better. I'm wondering whether the almond milk is spiking it at all, because, you know, I'm drinking more almond milk and not regular milk. I thought it would have been better, not worse. But anyway, I'll keep on this process until I've worked it out. But I do want to talk to somebody and say, should I be concerned? I think what I also know, there's an element of fear in there because I need to go and have my A1C test done. And, you know, I don't want that to be too high. That's unsweetened there, right? Pretty sure that it is. Yep. Right. And so, yeah, how many of you are beginning to get frustrated with the restrictions because of COVID? All right. And that is saying yes, because it's the chronic pain. I can't sleep, I can't stand, or can't sit properly without seizing. Just pain meds don't work. Anger, I don't have my flexible, fit body back. Yes, I just want more progress. I'm so sick of pain. We hear you, Nada. We hear you big time. And she's saying, I miss out on things because of it. Yeah. So what I want to say is, those of you who suffer from chronic pain, all right, just let's talk about it for 1 second. Does getting frustrated ease pain? Does getting angry ease pain? Because if it does, we need to know about it. You see, because what I found out, it didn't matter how angry I got, my Achilles were not going to get any better unless I did something to heal my Achilles. And part of what I'm doing every day, and Jody will bear witness to this, is I actually get off my feet at least once during the day. I even started getting into my hammock during the day just to sit and play games on my phone for half an hour, because the hammock is really good. I can get my feet way up on a hammock. However, I very nearly didn't get out of it. But I thought, even so, it's a really good thing for me to keep doing, because it's using muscles that are core strength muscles. So getting in and out of the hammock is probably a good thing for me to do, even though it's difficult for me to do. And if worse came to worse, I could scream for help. But I will probably do a lot before I scream for help. All right, so Nada is saying, oh no, first of all, Jody is saying, it makes it worse, the frustration and anger, right? In my experience, right, the anger feeds the pain. Yes, so again, don't complain about it, do something about it. So what I want us all to know is the lesson of pain will be a lesson for all of us. If you get in your car and it doesn't start, is getting angry with your car going to fix your car? If you're driving and somebody cuts you off and you scream and shout at them, is your screaming and shouting even going to be heard by the other person, never mind going to change their driving habits? You see, I want you to start getting really aware of that. And so that is my question of you. Yes, frustration, Sandy's saying, is causing the anger. So I'm calling my team on Monday about this. That is doing something, not complaining. I promised I would do the makeup thing. All right, here we go, people. People talked about my glow, and I wanted to show you how I create it. Okay, first of all, I have to get my hair off my face, which is a challenge for me. As you know, I got hair that goes all over the place. I think, by the way, I think you all know. Hang on a second. Got to get all the bits. All right. I think you all know that I use Lubriderm as a moisturizer. I've got the wrong brush here, but this will do. All right. So the first thing I do, this is what I do normally. I didn't do it today, but I'm going to do it right now in front of you so you can see how easy it is. When I put up the 30-minute warning or the 35-minute warning, and then I do what I am going to do now. Okay. So the first thing I do is I coat my beautiful skin with Lubriderm, and I have the cocoa butter one. All right, so that's the first thing I do. That's my base. Then the next thing I do, oh, we're not doing the makeup. We're not doing the eyeshadows and stuff. So this is what I do to create the glow. Okay. I have got two different options. One is you can do this. You can get, this is an eyeshadow that is a shiny tinge, all right? So you could do this, and obviously you put it in the right places, all right? So it would be there. I'm not done yet. It would be there. Okay. I believe it should be here and here. And then here. And this bit is the important one. This is the one that always is my favorite. I laugh at myself in the mirror. Hang on a second, let me show you. If I'm like this, I can't see where I need to put the glow. If I smile, I can see it needs to be here and here and here. It needs to be here and here, right? In this line here. Do you get that? So what I'm also do is I really pleased I did this. I got myself some iridescent powder. Jody, I probably need to put a link up to this, because if anything saved my glow, it's this. And it's a little goes a long, long way. Okay. So again, what I do, a little bit of moisturizer, and I've just put some in the lid there, just tiny bit. Okay. And I'm going to mix that up. And now I'm going to go over the shine bits. There and there. There and there. And then there and there. This is not the right way. This is just Sal's way. Okay. What did I forget? Oh, there. So now you can probably see there's quite a bit of glow going on. However, the last thing I do is I take my finishing powder, and I happen to use this stuff, and I go over the whole lot. And that I think you will see creates the glow, but not shiny, not obvious. It's more subtle. Now, was that pretty fast and simple? Oh, and then if I'm really lucky, I remember to take my hair clip out before I do the broadcast. You cannot believe how many times I was just about to put the video on, and I think, oh yeah, maybe I need to lose that. Now, how simple was that? And the reason that I actually demonstrated is because you have mentioned it so many times. Look at that glow. And particularly in the evening, I've noticed that the evening broadcast, you really notice it. And the reason for that is because the lights are reflecting off it, I think. But seriously, how simple was that? And thank you, Jody. And thank you. So you can see that it's not rocket science. It doesn't take a lot of work or a lot of time. I think, it works for me. I think one of the things when you get older, you don't want a lot of makeup, but you need to be able to do what you need to do. Now, the other thing I think you all know is I use mood matches for lipstick. So I always do the darker one first, and the outside rim. And this is just the way I put makeup on, right? And then I take the lighter one and put it here and here. And the other thing I do is I don't wear false eyelashes, but I do use mascara. I don't have it with me right now. And normally I would start with the eye thing. And if you guys want me to show you the eye thing next time, I'll gladly do that as well. But that is literally what I do. And look at my skin. I'm going to be 73 in a couple of weeks. I don't think and remember, I spent 20 years in the African sun without sunscreen. I should have skin that looks like leather. And I believe the reason I don't is because before I put makeup on, I literally, slather that stuff. And by the way, what I found is that Lubriderm is not greasy, it's not sticky. The powder sticks to it beautifully, and then, it just keeps absorbing, and it just works for me. I don't think, quite honestly, that my skin has looked better than it does now since I was in my 20s. You know, the crow's feet have basically gone. The marks that I had here from years of smoking, you know, should be gone. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, Samantha. Samantha's saying, I love that you are using brushes to apply. People don't always realize how important using brushes is for the healthy balance of the skin. Tell us more, Samantha. Tell me why, because it helps, what's the word? Stimulate the skin. I've always, the reason I use a brush is I don't like getting my hands all messy. And, you know, I tried the sponges, but my hands still get messy. And I tried the sponge on the end of a stick, and I'm going, really, the brush is way faster. So, you know, to me, it's really interesting. But how simple was it? That's the thing I wanted to show you. I know it's simple because I do it between putting up the 30-minute warning of the broadcast to when I hit go, I put my makeup on. Yeah, I have a routine about doing my videos, live broadcasts. I do this 2 hours before, I do this 1 hour before, and I do this in the last 30 minutes. It's put my makeup on and make the coffee. So I hope you have enjoyed today's broadcast. And if you have, let me know why. What did you enjoy? Would you like more stuff like this? What I'm trying to do is to find out what it is that you do enjoy and give you more of it if I can. And so I thank you for being here and spending time. I want to know whether you are enjoying the let's be prepared section or whether that is negative to you. Samantha's saying our hands carry bacteria and oils, sponges and brushes, whichever you choose are best, right? However, cleaning them regularly is equally important. Yes, and you know what I found, Samantha, is people make such a big deal of cleaning their brushes. I just drop mine into a glass of water, you know, and let most of the stuff just drop off. And then I will put a little bit of soap in my palm of my hand and I will clean the brush and disinfect it a bit and back in the water until the next time I go to the washroom, take it out, rinse it and put it upside down and back in to be cleaned. So, all right. So Jody's saying, great broadcast, loved it. Yeah, but you're biased, Jody. I know that. But I love you for it. Jeannie's saying, I love the filled hamburgers. Good suggestion, especially nowadays. Yeah, I thought so. Nada's going to rewatch from the beginning. Loving the demos. Let be prepared keeps me thinking ahead to what ifs. I like it. Thank you, Jeannie. I'm glad. You know, it's really important to me because it all takes a lot of time and I want to make sure I'm spending the time in the right areas. We have noticed, and I want to just say this, that really we're not getting a lot of participation on the Friday evening broadcast. So I'm going to be dropping the funnies and factoids starting next week. I will still, you know, Jody will still help us find funnies to put in there. But I think, you know, it's time for us to fill it with something more valuable to you. And I do believe that you all enjoy the tips and tricks type stuff. And I thought, what if we just put them in there? And then what I can do is during the week, just edit those tips out, you know, some of them, and put them into shorter videos. So basically, I get a twofer out of it, which will hopefully save me time as well. So, you know something, Jeannie? I understand that it's difficult to participate. I'm just grateful you're here at all. You know, I'm not sure that if I were living your life at the moment that I would be here as much as you are. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. I really say that. And it's not what I'm trying to do is to give you more of what you find useful. Nada, I know you've been through hell and back this year. and you're still here. All right. And I will still be here. Don't think I'm going away. I'm not going away. I just want to make sure that what I am putting together is of value. You see, I think sometimes that I can do different things and it will serve you better. So I will keep letting you know what I'm doing to be more prepared. And by the way, I'm just doing a little bit every time I put in a shopping order. I order what's the next thing I want. And if you can see the value of that, then we are ahead of the game. If you can see that being prepared, not scared, is going to be a lifesaver for you, if things go south. Jeannie's saying, Sal, you helped me during the fire. No, you helped yourself, Jeannie, but thank you. What you learned I'm glad that you used it. You understand that, as I've said to so many people, I love it that you thank me. I love it that you thank me, but you did it, Jeannie. You changed your thinking from panic into panic is not going to help. Right now, I need to focus. What do I need to get out of here with the right things? That is what saved you. All right. What do I need to take for Misty? What do I need to take for York? Because he's probably in a panic. What do I need to do? I need to stay focused. Nada, you feel the support and love in here because you have it. And I want to give you 10 out of 10 because it's difficult for you. You are a very independent person who has not been able, my sense of you, Nada, not being able to trust a lot of people in your life. And my sense is that you think talking about your pain or whatever is negative. I encourage you to talk about it. I encourage you to talk about it and talk more to Jody about it, talk more to Erin about it, people who live with it on a daily basis, people who can help you cope better. Because Dear Mama Sal is all about helping you cope. Nada's saying, yeah, you're right. I love to be right, Nada, but I really want to help you more than be right? Helping you is more important to me than being right now. All right. And you're doing great. You're beginning to talk about what's causing the frustration. You're beginning to talk about what's causing the anger. And the more you do that, the more you will help other people. I need you to stop being so selfish. Because if you talk about it, we will teach other people who are listening to you right now. Remember how you listened? Probably for quite a while before you started to talk. You see, Jeannie talking about what's happened to her with the fire isn't about being self-serving. It is about people. This could happen to you. 1 minute you're outside your house enjoying it, and the next minute a fire burns it down. That's disastrous. Jeannie, I want to tell you, I don't know many people that could cope with that as well as you have, to be honest. And the fact that you come here and talk to us about it and talk about the generosity of your neighbors and how you had to learn to give them a list of what you need so they could fulfill it, that's difficult for you. You're a giver. You're not used to receiving. Part of God's message to you here is to learn to receive, all right? And also that you can now use some of the stuff that we talked about, emotional intelligence last year, to cope with your life, your new, ever-changing life. Here you are in a new to you home that is only going to be yours until your other house is rebuilt. Okay? So you're going through more change than most of us would ever want to have happen to us. I am so proud of you. Bernice is saying, I agree with Mama Sal. Other people have what you are experiencing and it helps. I have a PCOS, right? And other stuff. And hearing other people's experiences help and let me know I'm not alone. Yeah. I assure you, when I get up in the morning, or actually it's been a bit better the last couple of mornings since I've been doing the right things. I'm trying not to take drugs because, I want to, I know this sounds strange. I want to feel the level of pain to know whether it's improving or not. I don't want to mask it too much. And when I feel it, I need to stop and rest it. Does that make sense to anybody except me? If I take the drugs, then what happens is I lose the pain, but I also overuse them as well. Bernice is saying with COVID right now, I am not panicking anymore at all, unlike before. Before, I would just be panicked and not sleep or anything. I would be disinfecting everything in my whole body till I'm raw. And imagine, Bernice, imagine how many people are doing that. Imagine how many people are doing that. How many people are taking incredible measures that are totally unhealthy for them. So I feel that to my core. And Bernice is saying, I agree, Mama Sal, I don't like meds because of dependency. None of us want to be dependent. That's not what I said. I said I was not taking the painkillers at the moment because I need to know when to rest. Because when I start to feel the pain, it's time to rest my Achilles. That's a different thing. However, I think it's, I am not against taking pain medicine if you're in pain. That's what they made it for. Now, I understand that we're all scared of being dependent on drugs. So this is about be aware of doing what you can. But if you can't cope with the pain, then that's what pain medicines are for. Jeannie's saying her Crohn's disease is finally better. Gosh, what did you do to improve it? I knew somebody who has Crohn's as well. Yep. Okay, Bernie, so we agree, all right? So yes, it's okay to take pain meds, the right ones. And I'm talking over-the-counter ones for me. But you know what I found is helping me stretch my Achilles gently? You know my new freezer? Can you see it there? No, not really. It's fairly high, all right? It's probably this high. And I actually lean over and lie flat across it, but very gently, just to stretch my Achilles out a little bit every day. I'm trying to find, luckily the Total Gym has got boxes on it that I had to put in there from redoing the QB thing. And I've nearly got them finished now. But I think that the squats were maybe a little bit too much for my Achilles. So we'll keep working. Where is the Achilles tendon? Great question. Hold on one second. I can actually tell you what happened. So here we go. This is your foot. Okay. And what I want to show you is I did, first of all, the first bit of damage I did was when I was moving boxes was to my plantar fasciitis, which is the ligament, is it, that's underneath your foot here. And I did some serious damage to that. And this thing comes all the way around here so my ankles were sore, my feet were sore. Okay, that was fine. And then when did the next bit start? I guess moving all the boxes, as Jody said, when I started unpacking. The next bit of damage I did was here. This is the extension of this. This is called your Achilles tendon. Okay, right there. And you will hear about this a lot in athletes. Okay. So that's your Achilles tendon. So that is what I overstretched or whatever. I think I actually probably even tore it slightly, because I now beginning to believe it is part of the reason why I'm having such problem with my ankles swelling. I think part of it is coming from inflammation from my Achilles. Not all of it, but some of it. So again, getting angry at myself for creating the problem, not going to help. Getting frustrated because I can't walk properly, not going to help. Okay? Doing the right things, icing it, resting it, putting a brace on at night. One of the problems that you have, just so you know, or I have, is when I sleep, and I think this happens to most of us, we do not sleep with our foot at that angle, right? We sleep with, if I'm lying down, this is my knee, and this is my leg. And ideally, you should actually lie with your toes pointing up, right? But what we do is we lie with our feet flat. And what that does is it shortens this tendon. If you think about that, right? Because it's bent like that, it shortens it. So I get up in the morning and try and get it to move to the upright position so I can walk. And suddenly I'm putting tremendous strain on that. Does that make sense? And one of the other things that I'm doing is before I get up in the morning, I go, okay, I know it's time to get up soon. And what I do is I lie in bed and I start flexing my feet like this slowly. Start stretching that Achilles tendon like this. It's very difficult to do that. You get the idea. Okay, if this is my leg and this is my foot, I start stretching this Achilles tendon. This is my heel. Okay, this is the Achilles wobbly tendon here. But you understand, it's sleeping like this. And then this is where I hit the problem when I go to straighten it up, because it's shortened here because of this angle. So what I do is before I get out of bed, I do about 20 of these to stretch it slightly quietly before I get out of bed. Yeah. All right, so we're way over time. This is Dear Mama Sal saying we'll be with you this evening. And thank you for being here. I'm glad that this was fun for you. And it was fun to put together, quite honestly. And we will see you soon. Hang on. Yeah, Jody's thanking everybody as well. Jody, thank you for all that you continue to do and to support us all. I hope you all love the glow. And now when you see it, you'll go, I know what she did. By the way, don't you like the bit about if you smile, you know where to put it, right? Because you know it needs to be here, 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 the bits, and here, and here. It's funny. If you smile, you can see what, everybody goes this bit, but I think this is the bit that gives me the glow. What do you think? It's the highlighting here. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, enjoy your burgers and let us know what incredible varieties you came up with. Next week, we will do some more on the bread baking bit so that I can show you what I do on a daily basis. And I'm going to revisit the starter thing because I think that's something that confuses people. And also then how to use, I literally, in my fridge right now, have starter. Okay, and it's in there all the time. And then before I go to bed tonight, I will make either bread from it or pita bread from it or whatever. This is Dear Mama Sal saying we can do this together. What I want us to be able to do is if the brown sticky stuff hit the fan, can we survive? Yeah, Jody, I think the starter intimidates people as well. And my silicone baker, which is my silicone baker? Oh, I've done, hang on a second. I think I threw them out. Yeah, I like to make little waffles out of bread as crackers as well. So we'll do that. All right, this is Dear Mama Sal saying love you dearly, and we'll see you tonight. Bye-bye for now.